The International Alert Academy is a Christian discipleship and training program that lasts about a year, and it's in Big Sandy, Texas. They have a 2,200 acre compound there where they make boys into men. In the space of a year, they train these guys on a whole host of skills. This video is sponsored by Aura. And let me tell you, if you're not protecting yourself online right now, you're basically handing your identity over to the highest bidder. Now look, your internet provider sees everything. Big tech is building a digital voodoo doll of you, and hackers are just waiting for you to reuse that same password that you've had since college. So that's why I'm a paying supporter of Aura. It's not just a VPN, it's an all-in-one digital security suite. I get bank-level encryption to keep my browsing private. I get a password manager and real-time credit monitoring and dark web alerts on top of that. If my info leaks, Aura tells me before some dude in Belarus buys a yacht in my name. So with Aura, one click, you're locked in. Simple. So do yourself a favor. Head over to aura.com/hotzone and get protection, peace of mind, and a discount just for being smart enough to take this seriously. Again, that's aura.com/hotzone. Seriously, don't wait until your bank account mysteriously vanishes. All right, let's get back to the video. I've sent all three of my boys to the International Alert Academy, and when they come home, I can hardly recognize them. They are physically fit, they're spiritually mature, and they are really men when they get back. You can just see it in their eyes. So my middle son, Nathan, who helps me with the YouTube channel, wanted to interview the director of the International Alert Academy, Jesse Bolden. And Major Bolden was actually one of Nathan's instructors when he went through the Alert Academy. So rather than me do the interview, I thought it'd be more fun to have my son Nathan do it. So take a listen to this really great interview between my son Nathan and Major Jesse Bolden.
Hey everybody, my name is Nathan Holton, and today I'm joined with a few of my friends from the International Alert Academy. You guys care to introduce yourselves?
Well, my name is Jesse Bolden, and I am the director of the Alert Academy.
My name is Matthew Moody, and I run all the diving for the academy here.
Awesome. Just give me really quick, a quick breakdown of what the International Alert Academy is.
Yeah, so ALERT is an acronym. It stands for the Air Land Emergency Resource Team, and it is a 9-month program specifically tailored for guys coming out of high school. So guys graduate high school, and then they come to us for a kind of a 9-month regimented training program. And it's to help guys figure out what they want to do in their lives. It's to help young guys live more disciplined and structured lives. We have kind of a 3-pronged approach: discipleship, training, and service. So we're a Christian organization, so our heart is to disciple these guys from a Christian worldview, help them grow in their walk with the Lord, give them skills. So that's the training side of things, right? So help them have hireable skills that are transferable to normal life and into the workforce, certifications that help them. And so training them to be useful tools to the kingdom, and then service, right? So we are a disaster relief organization. We are able to deploy throughout the country, throughout the world if necessary, being able to use our skills wherever we train them in the service of other people. So helping young men get these skills and then disciple them in a way that they realize that these skills are not for themselves, but to be given away in a life of service.
That's wonderful. So the International Alert Academy, it stands for, as you said, the Airline Emergency Resource Team. You guys deploy all around the world, really, to different disasters and areas that need relief. And just recently, you went down to the flooding that was happening in Texas. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that's correct. So from the very beginning of Alert's inception over 30 years ago, the goal was always to give our guys training and skills where they could go out and be a deployable resource, right? It was to local governments or throughout the country, or even throughout the world, depending on the crisis or the situation. Our very first deployment was the Oklahoma City bombing, right? It was kind of the first big one we went on, and we've been deploying on all sorts of stuff ever since. So just recently for us, obviously, it's made big headline news, this flooding down in Kirk County, Texas. Obviously, that's a little bit in our neighborhood. It's about 6.5, 7 hours away. And so we were able to deploy there a couple of weeks ago. We've actually sent 2 teams down. So we sent a team down a week after the incident happened, and we actually have a team down there right now as we're talking to help the EOC down there, the incident command system, specifically in body recovery. So I'm going to turn it over to Matthew here because so he was one of the officers that went down there with the team, and he'll tell you kind of what they took down there with them to do, and then the operations they were able to participate in. So Matthew?
Yes, sir. So basically, we took with us a land search and rescue or search and recovery team, along and equipped with some water rescue or water recovery stuff. Most of the stuff we were doing was land search and rescue, basic search lines, shoulder to shoulder, arm lengths away, just making sure we can see the guy next to us, and kind of walking through or searching through a path. Once we found an area that needed to be dug out or searched, we would, dig it out, whatever we have to do there, searching it. There was a lot of waterways, rivers that inlets come in, so we would be chest deep in water, searching through that. We did bring some dive gear for that situation. When we were there, we didn't actually use that dive gear just because of the water level. Some pretty nasty water for sure, all kinds of stuff we found. Probably the craziest thing you could see was a fully uprooted cypress tree in about 30 feet in the air, just like fully uprooted, middle of the air, because the floods were so strong there. But yeah, searching through anything that we couldn't search, we would mark and pin it on a map, and we'd send that to the OIC, and then they would come back through with the right equipment to get through that. Mostly because there was so much debris, it would actually knock over trees, completely bury them to where you could see, leaves on this tree, but it was just completely covered in dirt. You'd need heavy equipment to dig that out. So that's essentially what we did. We'd mark areas like that, and they would come back through. But yeah, that's basically what we did.
We were able to partner with a couple of cadaver dog teams down there. So we partner up with them. We go kind of from spot to spot and mark and search from the first phase. So as our guys go through training here, from phase 1 through phase 3, they're kind of adding to their search and rescue or search and recovery skills. And so all our guys get trained in basic land search and rescue in phase 1, and then underwater search and recovery in phase 2. And then depending on what they do in phase 3, there's even more advanced rescue skills or rescue operations. So we took all the equipment down there to be able to participate in whatever kind of rescue situation we could be available for, whether that's swift water or high angle or just basic land search and rescue. It was probably one of the most unique places we've been deployed as far as just what happened to the whole land had been shifted, had changed, right? And so even people that were familiar with the area, would show up and say, man, this hill wasn't here before, and this waterway didn't do that before because of the amount and mass of water and debris that had been thrown in there. So I was pretty unique as far as searching the actual topography of the land. Made it difficult in some places, and it is very unique for the guys on the ground there. So it was a good opportunity for us to be able to serve and be down there. Like I said, we were reached back out to after we got back to send another team down there, and they're right down there right now looking for continue to look for missing people. So,
thinking back to my time at Alert, I can certainly see the value of that training that I received for situations like that. I mean, anything from just simple land navigation. You were talking, Moody, about pinning points on a map. There's not a lot of teenage guys that can say, yeah, I know how to use a topographical map. There's just not. And so there's so much value to be learned from the International Alert Academy. And for those watching, if you have a young man in your life who's just about to finish up high school, I can recommend going through the International Alert Academy. It's a great place for young guys right out of high school to really find their faith and to learn a lot of good life skills. So take it from a guy who's been through it and from these two strapping gentlemen. This is something that you don't want to sleep on. It is a great opportunity for young guys to really test their faith and, moreover, test their mettle. How do young guys sign up for this? What's the process of getting signed up for the International Alert Academy?
Yeah. So it's pretty simple actually to start the application process. So we run 2 units a year, and so one in the spring, one in the fall to start kind of that 9-month pipeline. Every guy's got to go through phase 1 or basic training, and so you go on to alertacademy.com. And you would look for the application button, apply for basic training. And there's kind of, it's kind of a what I'll call a 5-step process, right? So step number 1 is to fill the basic application out of just who you are, why you want to come, basic information on yourself. Step 2 is to have a guardian fill out their questionnaire on you, just to get to know you a little bit better. Step number 3 would be a phone interview with one of our officer corps, just to get to know you better, make sure you're a good fit for the academy. Step number 4 would be you do a physical exercises so that we know you're in decent shape to attend the academy, right? Because it's rigorous, it's intense. And so we have you kind of get you a baseline fitness level. And then 5 would be a medical questionnaire, make sure you're cleared by a doctor to participate in the training. And if all those things check out, which for most guys they do, it's very rare that we turn somebody away. And so if all those 5 steps happen, then you'll be accepted and get a date for your start of training. And you come join the team here out at Alert. So
the International Alert Academy absolutely changed my life. I mean, I was kind of a punk teenager when I joined up, but it was certainly forming in my faith and my idea of what a man should be. So it was structural, I would say. It was a wonderful time. And really the most valuable thing I would say I got out of the International Alert Academy was the brotherhood. Going through tough times with other men really forms a bond that it's hard to describe. I mean, once you've gone through stuff like that with other guys, you can meet them years after, and it's like you've never parted. It's such a unique feeling. Just recently, I went to the Free Burma Rangers annual prayer meeting, and I knew that there was a couple of alert guys that were working with the FBR, and I was excited to see who it was and if I knew them. When I showed up, there were guys that I was there right across the hall during my 3rd phase. Great guys. And there was even a guy there that was in the leadership and communications program. So it was guys that I knew. And not only that, I thought it would be maybe 1 or 2 of them. There were 10 of us there working for the Free Burma Rangers. I mean, the Free Burma Rangers, as you guys know, it's an amazing organization. And the quality of man that comes out of the International Alert Academy is a perfect fit for the Free Burma Rangers. It's that kind of mentality. It's very hard to shake an alert guy because the amount of training you get.
Oh yeah.
It's rock solid.
I always like to say that there's enough of us that we're everywhere, and so few of us that we all know somebody who knows somebody, right? We know each other, right? All 3 of us are 3 different units, right? Came to Alert at 3 different eras of the program, and yet here we are, right? Talking, relating. We have that brotherhood. It's one of the intangible benefits of the training here, right? In a world that's pretty isolated and kind of doing things on your own. It helps not just forge you as a man individually, but forge you together with other men. And we've got guys doing, you name it, they're doing it, right? From their Delta Force operators, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, right? Doctors, lawyers, right? Working in fire EMS, doing all sorts of things with their lives. But all of us have that common bond, right? Regardless of where we end up as alum, our common bond is the forging of our time here at the academy. And that's just hard to recreate anywhere else or in anything else without having to go through the trials and go through the fire as an alert guy. So,
what other programs does the International Alert Academy offer? For me personally, I'm thinking of the Quest program. I went through
Oh,
in
sure.
2015, and way back in the day, I know. But it was so funny to me because Mr. Moody here was my what would you call it, a squad leader?
Team leader or something? Yeah.
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 back
So,
in
I
the
mean,
day.
and I'll let
I
Matthew
know,
talk
decade
about
ago.
that in a second here because he went through Quest as well as a student. Yeah, kind of the two big things we offer. One is that nine-month program, right? So it's got those 3 phases, which is that basic training. It's 9 months or 9 weeks for basic training, and then 9 weeks for second phase, and then 12 weeks for third phase. That's for guys coming out of high school. The other one is the one you just said, right? So the Quest program, and we offer 2 levels of that, Quest and Quest X, or you could call it Quest and Advanced Quest, right? And you got to do one before you do the other. And that's a 3-week long program that happens every summer here on the Academy grounds. That's for 14 to 17-year-old young men. And so they get to come, they get to rub shoulders with alert guys. It's a lot more of a structured summer camp, right? So it's a lot of fun, but it's also, right, it's also structured, right? So we're trying to do, so you're getting up early in the morning and you got to make sure you have room inspection, and you're doing some physical training, and you're running around and doing night hikes and stuff. Matthew got to go through that before he was an alert guy. He came through Quest, and I'll have him talk about his experience on that in that summer camp. So, Matthew?
Yeah, Quest was an awesome experience for me. I mean, as you know, I did it probably 4 years in a row. But it really, really taught me the importance of God's word. That's really the takeaway I take from it. Just like God's word is important and I need to get in it. And then I came back, I did logistics for helping out with the stuff and just learned a whole lot about, operations and doing stuff. And then doing a little bit of the team leading was a great experience working with you and a lot of other guys as well. It's young and dumb, but you learn, you grow, and God uses it. That's one thing that's really cool is seeing even the leaders coming back through, doing alert later, and just seeing their growth throughout the years of their training here at the Academy, whether that's Quest or alert.
And our mission is to forge men, right? Forging extraordinary men who will influence their world for Christ, whether that man is a 14-year-old young man or a 17-year-old man or a 34-year-old man. We want to work with them all. We want to help men be better men, be the kind of guys that God has called and created and designed them to be, giving them the support they need, the tools they need, the discipleship they need, the skills they need, so they can be better men, whether that's at 14 or like I was saying at 17, 18. So
Wonderful. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on today and talking about all of this. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm so glad that I could have the opportunity to talk to you more about it. I'm certainly going to be praying for those guys down helping out with the floods. I mean, that's serious work, and I'm glad that you guys have the opportunity to go out and help with that. So again,
yeah,
thank
we
you
appreciate
again
the
for coming
time,
on,
Nathan.
and
It's
you both.
great to connect, man. Thanks for making the time, and we appreciate it. And we hope to talk to you soon later.
All right.
Take
God
care,
bless.
man.